the book of Acts, chapter 28 and verse 27, and it reads, "For the heart of this people is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart." Your heart is your lob, is your mind, and should be converted, and I, speaking of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, should heal them. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, all glory, all praise to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah HaKwadash. I want to give double honors to our apostles, our bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. I want to give double honors to the high priest elders that taught those men. Salutations to you brothers that are presenting your bodies as a living sacrifice, pushing the gospel of the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, through the four corners of the earth. And to you true believers, the Akim and Akwathian, to you I say Shalom. It's Brother Bon Malak out of Great Millstone Camp, Austin, coming at you with a quick lesson. And this lesson is really going to play off Mark 2 and 22. It said, you can't put new wine in an old bottle. You cannot put new wine in an old bottle. And this is going to be referenced to the church blitz that IUIC they conducted. I think it was a couple of months ago. It was some months back. It was several months back. And they went on the video that surfaced that they was on the sidewalks and they was harassing, the Jake and Eve as they was coming out of those harlot houses. That's why I read out of the book of Acts chapter 28 and verse 27. I'm going to read it once again. It said, "For the heart of this people is waxed gross, you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, and their ears are dull of hearing. Their eyes they have closed, lest they should see with their eyes and hear with their ears and understand with their heart and should be converted. And I said their eyes referencing Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai should heal them." So there's nothing you're going to be able to tell those Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans that are coming out of that harlot house. It's Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. He going to give the increase. He going to awaken those that who he want to be awakened, in this during this time of prophecy, man. So you don't have to go have a church blitz and try to wake up Jake and Eve as they walk out of the harlot houses. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah chapter 5 and verse 7. It said, "How shall I pardon thee for this? Thy children have forsaken me." Those Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans that continue to go in them harlot houses on Sunday, they have forsaken the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and sworn by them that are no gods, and Jesus the Christ is no God. When I had fed them to the full, when the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai gave us the law, statutes, commandments, to you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, that fed us to the full. That's all we needed. We didn't need no other gods. It said, "They then committed adultery and assembled themselves by troops in harlot houses." And that's what those temples that Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans assemble themselves on the Sundays. Those are harlot houses because no edification is coming out of that place, man. No edification is coming out of that place. Let's go to the book of, the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 11. It said, "When I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things." When I became a man, I put away childish things. Those Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans are still that serving, in those temples on Sunday. They still in a childlike state. Because what? If you go and try to interrupt question their belief system, they're going to act just like a child. They're going to act just like a little baby. So, once their belief system get questioned, they go into scoffing and mocking and making those stupid ass videos talking about, IUIC, they were stupid for doing that. But nevertheless, they go in and talk about how all the Hebrew Israelites are the same. And we're not all the same. Because what we here at Great Millstone, we serve the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai in spirit and in truth. Matter of fact, I didn't want to burn it. Let's get this St. Matthew, the 24th chapter. And we're going to the 14th verse. And it reads, it says, "And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come." And prophecy is popping off left and right, man. America just attacked Iran. This is Bible prophecy, man. Because we know this is the end of Esau's kingdom. So instead of trying to wake up, Jake and Eve out of them harlot houses, that's why I read out of the book of Acts 28, verse 27, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, he going to wake them up. We just go out on the highways and byways and preach the word. We be instant in season and out of season. That's all we have to do. We don't have to go harass people as they coming out of their place of bullshit. The book of St. Matthew, chapter 6 and verse 24, Salakia. It said, no man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve Yahweh and Mammon. And that's one thing about those Christians that's going up in those harlot houses on Sunday. Hey man, they not serving Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shah. They'll serve Mammon. They'll serve chasing after the bag. They'll go up there and serve their pastor because their pastor is speaking those smooth words to them. Matter of fact, let's get that. Let's go to the book of Isaiah. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 30. We'll start at verse 9. It said that this is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of the Lord Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shah, which say to the seer, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceit. And that's what they love in them harlot houses. They want to be prophesied deceit. They want to hear, you know, you about to get your breakthrough, you about to get you a new job, you about to get you a new car. They don't want to hear the lamentations, the mourning, and the woes that the scriptures speak of. Let's go to and we're going to close it out here in the book of St. Mark, chapter 2 and verse 22, which you can't put new wine in old bottles. It said, and no man put new wine into an old bottle. That's why I read out of the book of St. Matthew 24 and verse 14, into old bottles, else the new wine does burst the bottle, and the wine is spilled, and the bottles will be marred. But new wine must be put into new bottles. And that's what Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shah, he awakened who he want to receive this new wine, this new gospel. This 100% truth that we speak at Great Millstone, the 100% truth of the Holy Scriptures. See, when you go in there and you try to put this new wine into the that harlot house, into the Jake and Eve that are coming out of the harlot house, man, they'll get they fucking minds are bust, man. Just like Elder Taza Pa said at work. And so lucky for that, for being interrupted. And again, I'm going to read this again, St. Mark, chapter 2 and verse 22. And no man putteth new wine into old bottles, else the new wine does burst the bottles, and the wine is spilled, and the bottles will be marred. But new wine must be put in the new bottles. And this new wine is this new gospel. As I was saying, that's why I read out the book of St. Matthew 24 and verse 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world to a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. Roughly paraphrasing that. So, and again, speaking on Elder Taza Pa, he was at work, and one of the Jakes came up to him, and Elder Taza Pa told that Jake, that man, all this shit about to be destroyed, all America about to be destroyed, and Jake was done. You know, he couldn't hold this new wine, this new understanding, that new understanding that America is Babylon the Great and it's about to be destroyed. Because Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, you know, even though they've been persecuted and oppressed here in America, Babylon the Great, they still love their oppressor. So he was told apart. So his co-worker had to go, you know, and speak to another co-worker, you know, the next day, so he can get back into that Edomite spirit, that proud spirit, that, you know, proud to be American spirit. America's done, man. This, you know, prophecy is popping off the pages, man. You know, the least of the flock is drawing America into this third world's war, man. We're sighing and crying for our deliverance. And Hamashiach Yahweh shall to crack that sky to come and deliver the hopeful elect and the hopeful 1/3 out of this piss poor and this abominable condition that we are find ourselves in. So you can't put this new wine in an old bottle. So you don't need to have no church blessings. All you need to do is preach the gospel, be instant in season and out of season. And Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shah, he will give the increase. So in closing, I want to give our honor, our glory, our praise to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shah, Basham Rakah HaKwadash. I want to give double honors to our apostles, our bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. I want to give double honors to the high priest elders that taught those men. Salutations to you brothers that are presenting your bodies as a living sacrifice, pushing the gospel of the Lord Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shah through the four corners of the earth, and to the Akim and the Akwathian, to you I say Shalom.